Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rich Latta here, back with another video. We're going to be reacting to the Indiana Fever taking down the Dallas Wings in an epic shootout. 100-93. Fever going above 500 for the first time this season, coming all the way back from a 1-8 start. Phenomenal game today, just to watch as a basketball fan. Both ends, of the court, both offenses playing, just this inspiring basketball, big shots everywhere. Then, the duo of Clark and Kelsey Mitchell just looking like the most fearsome duo in the league. I do not want to see that team, if I'm, someone else. I saw that Nancy Lieberman today replaced Cheryl Swoops on commentary. Cheryl Swoops has been rather controversial for the way that she's covered Caitlin Clark this season, and even predating the season when she was in college. And she was replaced on the call by Nancy Lieberman today, who said a lot of great things in contrast about Caitlin Clark, her value to the game, the way that she is going to push the league forward. But enough of that. Let's get to the basketball, man. This is a hell of a game. This is a shootout. If you like offensive basketball, this was it. It's a great game. We're looking at the box score. I got it pulled up right next to me here. Caitlin Clark, 28 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds. She started feeling it in the second half. It was, kind of quiet for her, actually. The box score looks great, but it was a quiet night until, she caught fire with a couple of those back-to-back threes in the fourth. But Kelsey Mitchell is taking advantage of playing around an offensive machine in a way that I have not seen someone do. I can't even think of a comp, really, like just seeing basically Caitlin is pulling all this gravity, and she's learning how to either just slow down where she is or just be in the correct spot at all times. And she went absolutely insane today. 36 points, continuing, her epic scoring for the second half of the season. I think, I don't know if she's going to get first team WNBA love, but second team, minimum for sure. This team gets more dangerous by the game. It is almost like a movie. It has been, a story of evolution throughout the season, and it feels like this team has an identity. It feels like this team is ready to compete with everyone. They travel well, so even the road games, they're getting a certain amount of love and energy from the road crowds. Let's take a look at some of the stuff. So Aaliyah Boston, 7 points, 8 rebounds. Aaliyah once again kind of struggled a little bit, but she was particularly good in the fourth quarter. A couple back-to-back trips up the floor where she was able to come with a key basket at a certain time. She is definitely someone that is doing her all on the defensive end, and also just creating that contact in the middle, because you look at this roster, this is an offensive, to me, this doesn't strike me as some physical roughhouse team. This strikes me as a team that likes to be in open space. They're fast, and they like to get layups or shoot threes. That's what has been effective for them. And then Kelsey Mitchell, she has free range or whatever. And even we saw Caitlin Clark today come up with the floater game and all that. Lexi Hull, kind of a quiet night with only 6 points, but she was out there, got to play a lot of minutes. She had a very tough defensive assignment. We will get there in a minute. Nalissa Smith, quiet 14 and 8, only in 22 minutes. But I think this team, kind of goes we know Caitlin Clark, we know Kelsey Mitchell, we know Aaliyah Boston, but the moment Nalissa Smith chimes in, those feel like dubs for the Fever. I think she's such an undervalued player, and I like to see her get more recognition from fans and media alike, for what she brings to the table. Caitlin Clark, as I mentioned, kind of a quiet game until, she started feeling it a little bit, in the fourth quarter. And then you look up and she has 24 points. And it's like, oh, it doesn't even feel like she's really been out there. But, smooth 28 and 12. She becomes I actually have the stat right here. She becomes the person with the most double doubles by a guard in single season WNBA history. She's killing records every game. You just don't even know where to begin with her. This is an MVP candidate. This is somebody that should get votes, and I think that the higher this team goes, the scarier it's going to be for the rest of the league. There was a little bit of a slow start. They were trailing behind the Wings by 4 to go into the fourth, but as good as Dallas played, a team that plays much better than their 9-23 record says. I don't care what that says, because they've got Satu back, they got their bigs back, and it feels like the Fever just this is the kind of game that you win if you're a good team. If they were to let this one go, it'd have been like, oh man, I think they're good, but they're not quite there. This is the game that championship teams win. This is the kind of game where it's like the other team has it going, and defense isn't really going to stop them. You're just going to have to outscore them, and that's what happened. And when we talk about outscoring, there's nobody else better to talk about than Kelsey Mitchell. I was talking with a gentleman on Twitter during the game, and he mentioned that she kind of reminds him of James Harden a little bit. I had a similar thought as well with Kelsey, but her efficiency has been off the charts, and whether it's close to the rim, her threes, like she got the beautiful rainbow jumper. I think the Indiana Fever need to find a way to re-sign her at all costs. Like, whatever it takes, she needs to stay. You cannot let Kelsey Mitchell willingly walk out the door. If the league doesn't break this team up, like with the expansion and everything like that, the core rules and whatever is about to go on, it's complicated. There's a story that was written. It was like she could be out of here even if she wants to be back. So I'm hoping that Kelsey comes back and continues to grow with this group, because they are scary. They are scary for sure. Dantas, a lot of big minutes in the second half. Timely 3-point shooting for her. Temi Fad Benlay, battling on the defensive end. Katie Lou got in there, didn't really contribute much. Didn't really see much Erica Wheeler, but wasn't needed this game. This was back and forth. I thought this was so exhilarating to watch as a fan. And I'm gonna talk about the Wings here next, because the Wings, I mentioned 9-23 on the season. A lot of people have big games against them. A lot of their team has been in and out of the lineup, but Rike Ngubawale is someone that I just love watching every time I see her play, whether it was an all-star game, it was even preseason. Caught her against a couple other teams, and then she's been someone that's just so electric to watch. She had 34 points today, 24 in the first half, and I believe she set her career high for 3-pointers made. So congratulations to her. That was just, she played all 40 minutes, so pretty much. So she got took out for a short amount of time, because I believe she had got a technical foul, if I'm not mistaken, or a flagrant. And then they got her right back in there. So, Satu Sabali, 25 points. It felt like, just a mid-range assassin, also stepping out to the 3-point line. Natasha Howard played great as well. Big minutes for her. She dropped 18 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Great all-around game for Natasha Howard. Someone that, has, been around a while, good veteran in the league. And I think someone like a Natasha Howard, if the Fever were ever able to land her, man, look out. Because I don't know, how the Wings' whole situation is going to play out. But it seems like changes might need to be made. Tara McGowan was in there, 11 boards, kind of just, clogging up the paint a little bit. JC Sheldon only said she had 8 points, but, she hadn't scored in a couple previous games. But JC Sheldon, even though it doesn't look like it in the box score, knowing what Caitlin did with the 28 and 12, she made Caitlin earn that 28 and 12. She was working hard all game. Jason Sheldon played a lot of physical defense, but sometimes you got to tip your hat. These are these are great offensive players. Like, you're not going to stop Arike Ngumbuwale. You're not going to stop Caitlin Clark. You're not stopping Kelsey Mitchell. And if you're J.C. Sheldon, you're that other guard that's out there. Someone's got to get the buckets put on them. So either way it goes, this is a exceptional game. If you're an Indiana Fever fan, stand up. This is a real good win to feel about. Very entertaining game. If you haven't seen the highlights, check them out. This was, I felt like a team was growing into their destiny today with the Indiana Fever. I think Nancy Lieberman, said it best. This is a team that's going to win a title soon, in the near future. I don't know if it's this year, right? That would be a lot to ask, but within 2 or 3 years, man, with the way Indiana is seemingly set to be a destination team, and I think that's not unreasonable from Nancy Lieberman. It would have been interesting to hear Cheryl Swoops call this game, but I think the league did make the better decision on this, and keeping the positivity and, trying to keep it to basketball and make it to where we don't have to have the other storyline. We know the other storylines that come with all this stuff, but I think these athletes are that good and that special that they have earned the right for us to talk about their games and not, the crap that surrounds it a lot of the time. So, big win for the Fever. Caitlin goes crazy. Kelsey goes crazy. And, Arike, goes nuts. Satu Sabali, one of the best games of the season for sure. But yeah, make sure you guys leave a comment. What did you think of the game? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think this was this Dallas Wings team is a lot better than the record says? Did the Fever just beat up on quote unquote bad team? What do you think about Kelsey Mitchell? Like, do you think Indiana can afford to you let her go essentially? Caitlin Clark, is she an MVP candidate, a legit one? Or, do you think she deserves votes? I happen to believe she does. So, anyway, we're going to get up out of here. I'll holla at y'all. My name's Rich. Make sure you check out the channel, subscribe, like, comment, get your shirts, One Lifetime merch. You'll see all the stuff below, and look out for the beat making videos and everything else. So, we're going to be back, covering, more Indiana Fever stuff on the channel. And I'll holla at y'all. Peace.